Hello everyone. Welcome to all my YouTube subscribers, my YouTube family. It's been a while. It's been about a week and I've been busy with private readings and over on my Patreon channel. And if you guys haven't checked that out, please have a look. Go take a look around, see if that's something that invites you in. And I just wanted to make a few quick announcements before we get into our reading today for the channel. I am extending the flash sale, the Valentine's Day sale, until February 14th, which happens to be my big brother's birthday and is also, of course, Valentine's Day. So I'm extending the flash sale, 20% off all readings, and that includes if you decide to do more than one reading, it's 20% off of all readings. And I've just gifted my second reading thanks to another incredible Divine Feminine, Sandra. So thank you so much, Sandra, for your incredible donation. And I have a reading that I will be gifting a reader here shortly, actually, probably in the next week or two. So I really thank you guys. That's two of you now, Maria and Sandra, who have contributed to allowing someone who maybe through circumstances right now is unable to purchase or acquire a personal reading from myself or anyone. So I think that really that kindness and love goes a long way, and I know that it will find its way back to you both tenfold. So thank you so much. And to anyone who's ever donated to the channel, donated to my Amazon wish list, which I have at the bottom of the video as well. And I'm saying that because I've received a few questions via email recently. How can we contribute to the channel? That's one way I really enjoy receiving gifts is through my Amazon wish list. So thank you so much to anyone who's ever contributed. Just a comment, a like, a share, a subscribe, helping another Divine Feminine or Divine Masculine here. Thank you all so much for your support. And of course, to all my Patreons. I take good care of you guys over on Patreon, and I'm dropping another brand new video today regarding some downloads I received. So I will be hitting you guys up over on Patreon as well. I know some of you are following both YouTube and Patreon. So these are exciting times that we're living in. And I'm going to talk over on Patreon in more detail about what's going on and why you may have felt such energy shifts last week. There was a lot going on energetically and just behind the scenes. I don't know how else to say it. Behind the scenes, things are really ramping up, and it looks like we're taking this lower timeline, but we're actually taking this higher timeline. So I want to talk more about the energy of that, and I'll do that over there. And don't forget, guys, if you're a writer or you've always wanted to sort of learn how to write, if you've always wanted to learn how to write or journal, I'm offering a free Patreon workshop. It'll be 31 days in March. Writing workshop for all my Patreons, and it'll be a daily writing prompt that you receive through Patreon. We'll talk about it, we'll discuss it together, and I'm really excited, really looking forward to that. It's Writing to Heal. So check it out, guys, and I hope everyone is doing really well. I want to start you guys off with, this is actually a deck that I used to use for all my personal readings and all my group readings early last year. It's a Louise Hay deck, and it's called How to Love Yourself. It's a deck of affirmation cards. So we're going to choose a card here for the collective. Can we have a card, please, for the collective? And as I start shuffling, we'll just call in, I'm just hearing sunshine, call in the sunshine, call in those beautiful rays and sparks of light to be present in this reading and allow me to be a pure vessel of unconditional love, divine truth, divine justice, compassion, joy, faith, and abundance. And calling on the archangels of the highest order to allow the messages that most need to come through for the collective to come through at this time. Thank you so much, and so it is. Aho. Amen. I completely trust the intelligence within me to guide me to the right path. The universe supports me in every positive way. Oh, I forgot that there's two messages per card. Oh, that's such a neat gift. I forgot about that. We also have, if I follow my inner wisdom, I am at peace with my own being. That's really important, that you be your own spotlight right now. They're just showing me the image of a boat. They're reminding me of Great Gatsby. If you've never read Great Gatsby, are you even alive? I happen to be a huge literature fan, and literature was my favorite subject in school, so I'm being a little bit of a brat here. But if you haven't read The Great Gatsby, sure, watch the movie, but read the book first. It's full of amazing symbolism and amazing messages. And I mean, it's a book that you can devour overnight if you want to pull it all night, or in a few days at least, and just cozy up on a rainy day with a cup of joe, a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and read The Great Gatsby. But they're showing me the green light, and this has been channeled before in my readings, the green light that's coming through at the end of the dock. And it represents, green represents, of course, money. We think of money and wealth, but if you know more, you dig deeper, it represents the heart chakra, and it represents hope. It represents wisdom. It represents this desire to have success, to be successful. And I think a lot of us right now are questioning, can this be a successful connection, right? Can I be successful in this love area of my life? Because many of you are finding your bearings in other areas of your life. And maybe you're wondering, why have I not found fulfillment or abundance or just even luck? It feels like you're down on your luck right now, the collective in general, in regards to my connection. You're being reminded that green light at the end of Daisy's dock, it's Daisy and Gatsby, and Daisy is the love of his life. And maybe Twinflames. I think it could definitely be a twin flame movie because there is a long separation. She gets married, and I'm not going to tell the end, but they go through this separation and then this reconciliation, this coming back together. But it's wrought with pain and suffering and confusion and fear and all of these things, and it's sort of like these obstacles are presented in the way between them. So I want you guys to remember on this journey that you are being supported, and that you have the answers inside of you. We go seeking the answers outside of ourselves too much, and we really run the risk of not being in the present moment, and of also missing the point of the journey, and of missing clues along the way, or just missing friendships, that we could develop, or insight into our mission work, our career, our journeys that we may miss because we're so focused on the end goal. We're so focused on that physical masculine or physical feminine. If you're a masculine watching that, it's easy to just sort of chuck everything else to the wayside. I'm going to talk about my journey over on the channel when the time is right, over on Patreon, because I don't want to do it on here. It's too public. I have a very private counterpart, and I'm pretty private as well, but I share some things with my personal private clients, and I want to share more over there so that we can really discuss our situations, what we've been through, and why we may be enduring this separation, why we may be enduring the trials and tribulations and obstacles, especially at this time. Just remember that you're supported, divine feminine or divine masculine watching. This is coming up over and over and over from the elemental oracle change, wind. There's a change in the wind. I feel the air dragons are coming through and just moving things along, sweeping things out of the way that are no longer working, or that just are no longer in alignment with the divine counterparts, and really with the mission on the planet, with what we're here to accomplish. So it may seem like things are being removed from your life very quickly, because this is definitely a tornado element here. It's a tornado energy. Things are being uprooted, but whenever things are uprooted, it actually creates more space and more energy and more frequency for the new to develop, okay, for creation. So whenever there's destruction, there has to be creation. We can't have light without dark, or dark without light. So there is a creation. Interesting, I just pulled the creation card, the water element. So we have this energy of air and water. So air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, water, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer energies coming up pretty strongly here right off the bat for you guys. So we have the energy here of, wanting to create, wanting to make peace with what it is that we're creating. She's not forcing anything. There's an element of peace. She is allowing, I talked about this over on Patreon, how the feminine is, has all of these suitors right now, these masculines pursuing her, pursuing him. They're coming out of the woodworks, and if they haven't, they're going to be. I talk about that in detail over there on the video I posted yesterday, but this reminds me of, what I was saying to everyone, just to be still right now and allow everything to come to you. When you when you do nothing, you allow for everything. It's like we're not forcing, we're not pushing, we're not resisting, we're just being, we're just allowing. And in that allowance, she's able to create, okay? We don't create from a place of force. That is a distorted masculine. So what's interesting is that when you're a feminine, and I want to share something because I've often referred to myself as dominant masculine. That is not true. I just saw a new acupuncturist yesterday, and recommended by a wonderful, wonderful soul friend. And he says to me, he says, you are absolutely yang deficient. You are yin dominant, and that's causing some of these issues, right? So what's happening is I'm making up for that yang deficiency by like sort of ruffling my feathers or pretending, like puffing my feathers out, like kind of like peacocking, pretending to be tougher than I am. And so I wonder if any of you guys can relate to that. And I can definitely relate to this mostly just in my connections, especially with my masculine and just the separation, the pain of it, the pain of, what transpired, but just in your life in general and how you may feel like you have to take control, or like if I don't take control, nothing's going to get done. So notice how that might be the case. And if you also feel you might be more masculine dominant, but deep down, you're the feminine, ask yourself, where is it that you may be trying to sort of create the situation where you are, it's almost like you're trying to self-soothe or balance out those energies. But what really needs to happen is it needs to be more natural. It needs to be more of an allowance, and sort of less of that destructive force of this has to happen this way. Things have to get done. The masculine has to show up in this way. So this is about flowing, just flowing, being in the flow, being in the element of water, allowing, with grace, but also confidence, just knowing that what needs to appear for you is going to appear for you. Stay true to you. Stay true to your emotions, but don't allow your emotions to overpower you. So stay true to your heart, I would say, over your emotions, because emotions are just energy in motion. They change. That's why we're not, hopefully you're not heartbroken forever. And if you are, you're stuck in that energy, or the memory of the energy, the energy of the memory. And so we need to get out of that way to ensure that we don't create stagnancy. Creation is, the birthright of the divine feminine. Creation is the birthright of the empress, of the high priestess. So using your ability to create, your ability to manifest, your ability to intuit what it is that you need, what it is that is going to most fulfill you. This is what is going to bring you the most joy and the most pleasure and the most abundance. Okay. So let's find out with the masculine energies, what is going on with the masculine energies. And I'm going to post a video after this over on Patreon that'll post later today. And I'm going to get into a little bit more about what is going on with the masculines, because I think there's a lot going on right now. And I think it needs to be discussed for us to understand, next steps on this journey and sort of how to deal with that, because it's your inner masculine as well. Okay. The masculines are letting us know that they're back in this cave, this heart cave. They're back in this place where they're protecting themselves and not necessarily reaching out. And if they are reaching out, you may feel like they're withholding like affection, withholding love, withholding information. I know that's how I felt when I was in communication and the end of 2019, with my masculine. There was just a lot of withholding. There was just, it's almost like you may feel again like the masculine isn't telling you the truth, or, the whole scenario. It's like, well, what's the truth of the situation? Well, the masculine is, they're wearing a mask again, is what I'm hearing. Some of them, not all of them. They're wearing a mask, and they're really just going within at this time. There's an egg here which represents creation to me. So the feminine's over here creating, feminine's over here, withstanding the changes in the wind, and the masculine's over here protecting themselves, trying to avoid the changes. So they're back in that energy, guys, of just wanting to avoid the changes. And at the same time, we've got growth, plants. And so this is that nature element of, look, they got the fairy lights, just like I have the fairy lights. Interesting. this is the energy I feel coming from this card for the masculine energy is wanting to resist the change, just wanting to sort of stay in one place, wanting the stagnancy, and the feminine's over here allowing for the flow. So you guys are in opposite energy at this time, which could be considered mirroring. Okay, there's this energy of the feminine's flowing, the masculine stagnant. Eventually you get to that place where you're both in inner union and where you're both flowing, where you don't have to have one stagnant, the other flowing. You know, you can actually work together in harmony. So that's what we're striving for, twins. That's what we're, you know, that's the main goal. That's the end goal, is to really allow yourself to be in that flow internally, which will be reflected externally. But you can see there's some resistance here with the inner feminine and the inner masculine, where the inner feminine's flowing and she's allowing the changes. So it's interesting though, because the feminine energy has change and the masculine has growth. These could be considered one and the same, right? If you have change, you're going to have growth. And if you're growing, there's been change on some level. So I like that because I can see the symbiosis with those energies. But as far as creation and protection, these two feel like very opposing energies. So you may want to connect with that feminine inside of yourself and see, where is it that I might be sort of opposing my growth, or opposing, where is it that I am not allowing myself to expand, is what I'm hearing. Now, the other energy that popped out for the masculines is endurance. This has come out recently for the masculine energy as well. Realizing that this is not a sprint, this is a marathon. And I sense some frustration. I do. I sense some frustration that the masculines, they can't come forward. They want to come forward. They feel like they can't come forward. And they're just like, why? You know, why does it have to be like this? Why do I have to go through so much pain? Why do I have to feel separate or be separate from my feminine? And they're not understanding the lessons in all of this. Okay, it's like they're not understanding. They feel like they're being punished. The masculines feel like they're being punished. They cannot understand, why does it have to be so challenging? You know, I finally meet the person that I'm supposed to be with, and they know this on a very intuitive level, energetic level, maybe not in the 3D, but their higher self acknowledges who you are to them, definitely. And that's because of the work that you've done, feminine, to get to that place where you're just confident in who you are. It's like the feminine wants to tell the world now, I'm the divine feminine. I'm the divine feminine. This is who I am. I sit on my throne, but I don't sit here high and mighty. I sit here because I have had lifetimes of struggle and pain and suffering, and I know what it's like. And I sit here alongside all of you. And I sit here to help you and shine my light and to assist you in moving into your own light. And so I'm not here on my throne to be better than anyone. I'm here to be equal to everyone. And it's because of what I've experienced that I'm able to be here. Now, the masculine is seeing the feminine as the Queen of Cups. So even though there's some resistance in the masculine's energy here, what I do like is that the masculine is seeing the feminine very clearly right now. So there is some clarity in regards to how the masculine is seeing his counterpart or her counterpart. You know, look at this. Look at and I feel like this has happened before when I've used these two decks. Look at the similarities here. The masculine is seeing you in your true light, in your authentic light, because you are being authentic. When you stand still, feminine, you allow everything to come to you. When you need, when you long, when you desire, when you hunt for something, that's a distorted masculine. You don't need to do anything or be anything or hunt anything. You don't need to change anything. All you need to do is just simply stand still, and you'll attract and magnetize everything to you. And that's what's happening, feminine. That's why masculines are flocking to you, because they literally are. I see it. The masculines, just soulmates. They're flocking, or even maybe karmics. Hopefully, many of us are beyond the karmics, so these are soulmates, and they're flocking to the feminine. The masculine, and I don't want to spend too much time on the masculine because I'm going to go into greater detail over on Patreon. But the masculine's in a place of conflict. You know, it's like they see the queen and they see you in this energy of such lush, it's like deliciousness. It's like I just heard cupcake. That's going to be resonant for somebody out there. There's like, they see you've shared a cupcake with your masculine, you're baking them cupcakes, or they call you cupcakes. So that's coming through really strongly. And the masculine wants nothing more than to, I hear, conquer this. But the feminine doesn't want or need to be conquered. The feminine wants and needs to be not even protected. The feminine wants and needs her equal or his equal. So what the feminine's actually looking for is not protection. Protection in a sense, yes. Protection in another sense, no. It's not protection. It's not conquering. She doesn't need that. She doesn't want that. She's beyond that at this level, at this point in her journey. And that's why it's like, if your masculine hasn't come in yet, this is one of the reasons, is because he, in the past, he tried to conquer you or play games, and that was a form of conquering, and somehow tried to sort of test you to see if you were like the others, and then he discovered that you weren't, especially when you didn't chase. And even if you chased, it wouldn't have been the same as a karmic chasing. You may have chased, so to speak, with love. You may have reached out a few times, but the feminine does not chase in the sense of chasing because she is insecure, chasing because she lacks confidence. When the feminine is in her power, she simply stands still, and she recognizes that the love that's destined for her will find her. She doesn't need to be anything. She doesn't need to prove anything. But the masculine is in conflict. I see the Five of Wands always in conflict with yourself. That's how I interpret it. That's my interpretation. Others will interpret it as fighting amongst, other people. This is, I see, as fighting amongst yourself. Look, he's going in like 5 different directions. He's reaching for that torch. He's reaching for the light, which is the feminine, but he can't quite get to her. Why? Because she's over here wearing her crown, sitting on her throne, just being, just existing peacefully. She doesn't need or want that drama, that struggle. She's beyond that. She's been through that numerous times, numerous lifetimes, numerous situations. She's beyond that, okay? The feminine's seeking and searching for equality. And the feminine wants, okay, this is equality, equal give and take. That's what the feminine, that's the only thing she will accept at this point. She is at that level. And the masculine feels like he's sort of teeter-tottering back and forth, up and down, because he doesn't know how to offer that to her, but he knows that's what she deserves. So if the masculine's staying behind or staying back, or is very quiet at this time, or is withholding in some way, it's because he doesn't know how to offer the queen what she deserves. The feminine is ready for the changes to come in, especially whatever is going on in the world, which I talk a lot about over on the other platform, guys, just because it's safer, it's more secure, and I have more liberty to speak freely. So the feminine is looking for a change. She's going to be, when the masculine comes in, she's going to want to know, how have you changed? How have you grown? How have you expanded yourself? How have you shifted your consciousness? How do you regard this connection? How do you regard your mission? How do you regard me? It's not like that sexual energy. Yes, it's present, but that is not what's most important anymore to the counterparts. You've moved beyond that, and now it's at a level, it's at much deeper soul level, this connection. Whereas before it may have seemed like it was a little superficial in some ways, or a lot of the feminines wondering, was I used? Was I taken advantage of? No, you weren't. But that was part of the illusion playing out, as the masculines were still working in that sort of undesirable, disconnected energy, the disconnect of the heart, in the soul from the body. Okay, that energy of, again, wanting to control, wanting to conquer. The feminine cannot be conquered, and he's figured that out, guys. He knows that. She knows that. Okay. This came out upside down. So this is the energy of, this is the reverse of longing or reminiscing. This is the energy of the feminine getting out of that energy. So if you've been in that energy with the wheel here, things are about to shift. Things are about to change. Don't be scared of that, guys. That's what you want. You don't want to be in this energy of feeling like nothing is changing. You don't want to be in that longing energy. It's not an enjoyable energy, and it's not conducive to growth, to things changing in your connection. It keeps you stuck. It keeps you stagnant. It may seem safe and secure. It's really not. There's no safety and security in staying where you are. I asked, what does the feminine need to know? We have Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, the divine plan. You're part of a much greater plan, divine feminine. So it's letting go of that longing, that need to attach to the physical counterpart, the physical expression of the counterpart. Because in truth, in spiritual truth, you are your twin, they are you. There is no separation. But the 3D mind is boggled by that. 3D mind goes, what do you mean there's no separation? Of course there's separation. I can't see them. I can't feel them. Can't talk to them. Connect with them inside of you. Where is the inner masculine? How can you nurture the inner masculine? How can you nurture the inner feminine? How can you bring them into unity? What is it that your inner masculine needs, guys? This is why journaling is going to be so important and so helpful and so conducive to healing, because we're going to explore, what is it that I need? Okay, what is it that will most serve me at this time? Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do, feminine? This is, look, the call has never been louder than it is now. The call has never been louder than it is now, feminine. There is no time to waste. There is no time to stay where you are. There is no more time to hang out in the comfort zone. The comfort zone's over. It's gone. It's being eradicated for everyone on earth. The faster you can accept that, and the faster you can choose, you know what, I'm going to choose my destiny. I'm going to choose the direction my life goes. I'm going to step into my mission without being forced into it by another dark night or ego death. The happier you're going to be, the faster you're going to experience that joy and that bliss and that abundance, with or without the presence of the physical counterpart. We'll talk about in more detail what's going on with the masculines on the other platform, because there's a lot more here than meets the eye. I just don't have time to get into it. Feminine, cut the cords. You can cut cords with your masculine. You cannot cut cords permanently, but you can cut cords to the longing, to the aching if you're still in that energy, but know that it is shifting, it is moving, but cutting the cords will speed up that process so that you'll feel more at peace. You'll feel a sense of wholeness, a sense of release, and a sense of detaching, okay? You need to detach from the pain, detach from the story behind it. Listen to your intuition and downloads and understand that what it is that you're receiving is in fact spiritual truth. Don't doubt the connection. Don't doubt what it is that you're receiving. This is in regards to the next steps on your journey as well. So guys, I'm going to stop there. Come join us over on Patreon. I'm going to continue the reading. We're going to go into much greater detail. I send you guys so much love and light. Take great care, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.